right? These are the things that we should do. We should go do difficult things that we're afraid of. That's where every ounce of growth is.
And both of you are full-time investors now, out of the military, no longer in the military anymore. What major skills did you get from the military that helped you transition once you got out?
Me?
I've been leading off. Yeah.
It took me actually a long time to figure this out, but I'm mentally tougher than every civilian I run into. I'm mentally tougher than everybody. Now, some of that is my personality. I'm just tough as nails. But also, you know, people in Las Vegas are like, I'm hot, I'm whining. You know, I was friends with this week. I was with a friend. He's like, yeah, it's hot. I was like, yeah, it's hot. We're all hot. Shut the fuck up. Right? That's the Army talking. Right? I'm afraid. Yeah, you should be afraid. But guess what? Oh, here's one. You should be afraid. That's good. Fear is good. Fear is a motivator. Fear is something you should rush towards because it's a comfort zone thing. Once you're afraid of something and you overcome it, you're no longer afraid of it. Also, military gives you stakes. We live in a culture where there's no stakes. Like college, you're like, what? There's nothing on the line here, right? You're probably going to get debt to pay for it, and you have to pay for it later.
Yeah.
Right? But it's just a money problem. There's no stakes. Go where the bullets are flying. Now you got some stakes. Now you got some skin in the game. And so what also does is like, I don't stress unless there's bullets flying. So I have very good perspective. It also allows you to travel. If you shook hands with every single human in America, 350 Americans, if you shook hands with every single one of them, you would still only know 4% of the world's population. You know nobody. You have no idea what the world looks like. Military, I went to Qatar, Afghanistan, Korea, Turkey, couple other little places, you know, like you get to go see how the world really is.
All vacation resorts.
Yeah. Afghanistan, Kabul, 9 months.
Yeah.
Is a life of luxury. But my point is, right, it's very good perspective because then you come back and you're like, do you know how easy you have it in America? You have no real problems. That's incredibly healthy. That is a monstrous advantage when you're dealing with people who are, I'm sorry to say, weak. Right? Because we are competing. Everybody's competing. You're competing mentally, you're competing financially, you're competing socially, right? And when you're done with the military, you're a machine, bro. And look, I still make mistakes. I'm not the most disciplined person. I have my flaws. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not a David Goggins, right? But I'm close.
But you would have been, or do you think you would have been way less disciplined if you never joined the military?
Correct, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was an apathetic slacker when I got in, and they were slowing me down by the time I got out. They turned me into a warrior, and I'm thankful for that. The world needs warriors.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had an ego like a son of a bitch that the Marine Corps put in check, which was very helpful in a lot of ways. To Alex's point, I mean, I lived in Japan for 2 years. I saw Thailand, Guam, Korea, Kyrgyzstan, also the luxurious Afghanistan. I lived in Oahu for 3 years, San Diego, a bunch of places in the U.S. So, yeah, travel, culture. But, the answer I usually give people, obviously discipline, grit, all that stuff. But the one that I always it's kind of a joke for me, but I think it's really huge. Like we talk about, consistency, obviously, which is the discipline piece. But the hurry up and wait thing, like the military is notorious for hurry up and wait and like bullshit hours. Like
what does hurry up and wait
hurry
mean?
Up and wait means hurry up and wait is like the perfect example in the military is like, hey, everybody, we're going on a hike at 5:30 tomorrow morning. So you need to be at the armory at 3 to get your weapon to make sure you're there in time. Wait, it only takes 30 minutes to get the weapon. We need to make sure you're there ready on time. So then you get your weapon at 3. It takes you 10 minutes to get your weapon. Now you're sitting there for 2 hours, and then you get everything ready, and now like 30 minutes, go get ready. You're just standing there holding everything with your backpack on, waiting for someone to say go to start the hike for another 25 minutes. And then, by the way, we're late by another hour. So it's like you've been sitting around for 4 hours to start the thing that you showed up for, that kind of thing. And then like...
That's all the time, by the way.
Yeah.
That's everything.
And then we've also got like 24-hour duty. So like, hey, not only did you work a full work week, but today you're going to stay in 24-hour posts. So from 7:30 to 7:30, you're on duty. And it might be a sleeping post, but it might not. And like, whatever. You're not getting paid extra. You're on duty for 24 hours. Have fun. So like, you get in this point of this frame of mind where like that's kind of normal, right? Like that stuff happens. And it's not the end of the world. And so I think that sets service members up uniquely for entrepreneurship or building a business, because anytime you launch anything, right, that first year you get stuck in this, the thing that crushes most small businesses in that first year, there's all kinds of things that can actually crush it. But what I think crushes most of them is that in that first year you hit what I jokingly call the BMW phase, below minimum wage, where you don't make shit. And then you tap out because you're like, this isn't working. I can't stay consistent. I'm not making anything. I'm not seeing any, whatever. Why would I keep working on this? Whatever.
It takes all sense of entitlement out of you. You deserve nothing. And they make you learn how to live like you are. It takes all the entitlement away.
So for that first
Very
year,
useful.
while I'm like working on Military Millionaire and I'm putting all this stuff out to the world, and I didn't have any idea it was ever going to become anything, but I'm just recording away and doing all this stuff, and I'm making no money. In fact, I'm paying to build stuff. Like, I'm working all these hours for nothing, but at least I'm doing it for me.
The people who I see who fail often in entrepreneurship are the people who start and they instantly think that they deserve something.
Yeah.
They
Entitlement.
instantly think that they deserve an income.